Hello everyone, it is me, Jovian, aka Jojo the Giant, aka Jojo the Jovian, aka Jojo the Jovial Joe, aka Joey Bon Jovi, aka Joey Molino, aka Saint Nick Santa, because I bring my gifts to the world, period. Today, I decided that I would show you guys this beat I made for Kanye West's Donda. Since the nigga won't release his own shit, I decided to take matters into my own hands and make my own song that would be on Donda if Donda was ever to be released, which it won't be.
Actually, this is cap. As I was editing this video, someone at Universal decided to do the Lord's work and drop Donda without Kanye's permission. Thank fucking God. I'm so happy, you have no idea. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video.
So this was my idea, and I made this beat, and I really liked it, and I feel like it really captures the essence of what Kanye's going for, or like at least the kind of energy around him, or not energy, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It just captures certain Kanye essence that I really enjoy. So I will start by playing the sample. I actually start the track or the beat by laying out the sample that I used in it, and the sample is from Sampha. He's collaborated with Kanye before on St. Pablo, which is like one of my favorite tracks from Kanye. And yeah, I really like this sample. I've wanted to flip this sample for like so long, but like every time I've tried, it's gone horribly. It was utter trash, actually. But this time I finally figured out a way to kind of make it work. So I'll play you guys the sample first. So yeah, that sample, amazing. We all know that Kanye is in that like Jesus mode right now. He loves Jesus, if you haven't noticed. And yeah, it's just, I feel like it fits with that theme of like Father and like Father Stretch My Hands part 1, 2, and 3 or 4, how many ever parts there are. It fits with that kind of idea, or like that kind of Kanye concept, if you will. So I really like that sample, and this is how I flipped it. This is how I kind of made it into its own thing, because originally I just wanted to play that loop throughout the song, but I was like, it's taking up too much space in the beat, and if someone was to hop on the track, they wouldn't have any space to do anything. Like, it'll just be this loop droning on and on. So this is how I kind of cut it up. Okay, let me just play it for you guys first so you guys can get an idea, and then you can see, then I can talk about what I did. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to this. Well, actually 4 parts to this. So we have the original sample here with a couple of effects. We have a auto filter, we have a EQ, and also we have a reverb that's connected to it, but it's bussed out. It's not like on the actual thing. It's bussed out to this reverb so that the actual sample isn't affected, because I learned this trick from like, I don't know, I think I learned it from TikTok. If you put like reverb on the actual sound you're trying to affect, then it kind of drowns out in that reverb. But if you bust it out to like a separate channel, you still have that reverb effect, but the original sound will still cut through. So I did that so you could still hear him say Father, hope you're listening, and all that jazz. Next we have this little thing here, this little trinket. And we have this part just saying hope you're listening. The same plugins as before, but this time it has an echo. This creates like the spacey effect, and it leaves room for someone else to be on top of the track, so that it's not just the sample like cutting too much through the mix. Below that we have this vocal loop that I found on Splice. Just a basic vocal loop, and I think it just adds a bit more character to it, so it's not as boring as just playing the actual thing. It makes it more, I don't know, I just like the loop. It worked, so I put it in there. Next we have this, which I actually recorded in Omnisphere. It's just a choir, but I flattened it so it could just be its own actual sound wave instead of MIDI. Then I just put a couple of effects on it. I put some Valhalla, EQ, utility to add some width and just make it more spacey. Then I also added a fade in and out so that it would flow better into the song. It wouldn't just like be so clicky. So yeah, altogether, that was how I flipped the sample. It was just a couple of effects. We have the main sample, we have the sample with the echo, we have another separate loop that I found on Splice, then we have the choir on the bottom just underneath to just support it so that it all kind of like comes together as one idea, because even if I do have like this echo part, it does kind of feel empty without like something underneath it just to give it that structure. So the choir definitely does come through for that. Next, after the sample, I have the piano that I added. I just played this on my MIDI keyboard. So this is what I played, and I'll play it for you now. Pretty basic. They're basically the same pattern. It's just this is a different piano. This is the yeah, it's just the Keyscape Dark Score piano sample, and this is the Keyscape vinyl piano sample. I didn't really put much effects on these, just a simple EQ, cut out all the bottom because you don't need it. It's just gonna take space for the bass. Speaking of the bass, we will move on to that next. Next we have the bass here. So that's the bass. Very simple. I just love this patch. I found it on Massive. It's incredible. I did do a little tweaking to this patch. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was just to the sustain and the decay so that it would like cut off a bit earlier, because you don't want the mix to get too muddy. But that was about it. And yeah, I just really like this patch, and it was actually one of the first things that I added to the beat when I was making it. I also had this section here. Basically the same as before, but this one has obviously a couple more notes. I originally wanted this to be the bass throughout the whole thing, but it took up too much space in the mix, and I left it for this part where there's like a lot less going on. So yeah, next we have the drums. I love these drums. I try to copy the drums off of Real Friends. This is kind of what I got. Very simple. I used a Kanye sample kit for these, and also a Yamaha Stadium kick, just to add like a bit more punch and a bit more space to the drums. I don't want them to just feel like they were played electronically. I wanted them to feel like they were played in a stadium, like the ones that Kanye's been performing in. So this is what the pattern I kind of came up with. So yeah, those are the drums. Really basic. I just added a couple patches, some of my favorite patches to add to drums. This is like my basic like drum mix that I usually do. I use an SSL preset, and then I use glue compressor to just make it loud. I'm really bad at mixing. If you haven't noticed already, like, I'm really bad, but it sounds good when it comes out of my speakers, so that's all that matters. That's all that matters, really. So yeah, after that, there's not much else. The next section under everything else is what I like to call the glitter section. Everything that makes the beat shine a lot more, polishes it up. Just like basic effects, like here we have a basic riser. Simple. Next we have this like screeching noise, just to add more to the section. It kind of reminded me of like Yeezus, so I was like, yes, this is definitely something Kanye would put on his song, so I added it for sure. Under that, we also have a guitar solo. This guitar solo was originally a sample off of Splice, but it didn't quite go in the direction that I wanted it to, so I re-recorded it myself. I made it exactly how I heard it in my head for the song, so this is that. After that, we also have another guitar sample here. Well, it's actually an Omnisphere guitar. Yeah, it's just a basic guitar, and I played it with my MIDI keyboard, and I use like this thing. It makes the pitch bend, a pitch bender, I guess that's what you would call it. So I used that, and I bent the pitch a bit. So, and then I put some Valhalla Super Massive on it. Then it cuts off with some automation. After that, we also have another like very small riser here. Very small. Wouldn't even notice it, but it adds a lot to the song, adds a lot to the transitions. And then lastly, we have this really good sample. This was like the finishing touch that was just missing from the song that added a lot without doing a lot. I found it on Splice. Very basic like synth lead, but it added a lot to the space that I was trying to add here. For the mastering of the song, I added a Sketch Cassette 2, which is one of my favorite cassette plugins right now. It's just so good at adding like texture and color to your things. It makes your sounds not feel like stock plugins, so I love this plugin, and it added a lot. And then I added Ozone Vintage Limiter. This is like my favorite limiter plugin. It basically is how I finish most of my beats. I just put this on the end of it so that I know everything isn't peaking and shit. That's pretty much it. I didn't really do much else to the beat. It was a lot of fun to make. I enjoyed it a lot. I was trying to go for that Donda Stadium spacey vibe of like, you know, depression, you know. I'm gonna play a snippet of it now, but you can check out the entirety of it on my main channel, which will be, the link will be downstairs. You know where to go. Don't act like you don't know where to go when you know where to go, okay? Or we're gonna have some problems. Go over there to listen to the full thing. I'll play a snippet of it now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. Also subscribe to my main channel as well. I post there as much as I can humanly possibly maybe, I don't know, probably. We'll figure it out. So yeah, go subscribe there if you're bored and you want to listen to some cool beats. I try my best to create type beats that aren't necessarily type beats. That's why I love Kanye so much, because he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He makes cool music. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, go there if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, maybe, if you enjoyed this. I don't know. Watch this get like 2 views and I just quit everything. Just quit life, period.